Although unfortunately won't be a playoff run for either of these two teams. Remember, the last time Osaka VELCA played in the B.LEAGUE playoffs was back in 2021, and one Ira Brown was their key player back then. Well, Nagasaki's dream since their inception back in 2020 has been simply 2 consecutive promotions from B3 and B2. Now here to the promised land of Japanese basketball, and there are your standings. Indeed, the B.LEAGUE playoffs are upon us, and they will begin on the 11th of May, very shortly this month. Well, the question is going to be, who will have that #1 seed? Will it be Utsunomiya Brex, or will it be San and Neo Phoenix? Because Brex, like Alvak Tokyo, the only 2 teams here in the B.LEAGUE that in this postseason can chase a 3rd B.LEAGUE championship. Because you have defending champions Chiba Jets from 21 and on, not to mention Ruku Golden Kings, who've made the last 3 consecutive finals, but only winning 1 of those. They lost to Utsunomiya Brex in 22, winning the championship in 23 against the Jets, and unfortunately losing last season to the Hiroshima Dragonflies. So there are the playoff standings as they look. Brex would potentially meet up with Gunma Crane Thunders. Shimane Susanna Magic would face up against Golden Kings. It's been a long 4 years for them, consistently being in the B.LEAGUE playoffs. While Mikawa will have to go up against San and Neo Phoenix, but that could change, depending who gets the #1 seed in these final 2 games. Well, as we take a look at some of the key players for Osaka VELCA tonight, they will be indeed without their key player Takuya Hashimoto, who is injured at the moment. And our thoughts and prayers go to him on a speedy recovery to make sure that he is ready for the 2025-26 B.LEAGUE campaign. Well, Matt Bonds, a former player of Nagasaki VELCA. The Nagasaki fans will remember him, especially when he started with them in B3. But as we take a look at this team, head coach Maor of Israel, well, if you look at his key players, he's got a very talented team. Yudai Baba Boom as they know him as. Former Alvak Tokyo player and a regular for the Japanese national team. But also, as you can see, Hayato Yamaguchi, not to mention that man there, number 99, Big Mikey, Grande Mikey as he's known on Twitter, or X I should say. And that, of course, is Koya Kawamata. Well, the key players to look out for: Yudai Baba, averaging 14 points per game. Tonight, he'll go up against Gilas Pilipinas, the Philippine international Ray Parks. Now in his first season here with Osaka after leaving the Goya Diamond Dolphins. Well, both players are shooting literally 31% from the 3-point line. Of course, averaging 4 assists per game. That's the reason they're the key players to look out for tonight. Well, indeed, as we head closer to the B.LEAGUE playoffs, fans, if you're watching live on B.LEAGUE International, please make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to B.LEAGUE International on YouTube, and let us know in the comment bank, which team are you supporting? Are you supporting Nagasaki VELCA, or are you supporting Osaka EVESSA? Well, it's been a major turnaround for Osaka. The last few seasons have, not built the same fruition as historically as this club's had in the past. Go back almost 20 years ago when they played in the former Basketball Japan League. They were the top team. Of course, the star player back then was the man known as Matt Lotich. And also, if you think about the history of Osaka VELCA, one of their former coaches back in 2013-14 was Bill Cartwright, the former NBA champion, 3-time champion as a player with the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan, and also an assistant coach back in his day. Well, already, let's give a shout out to our friends and fans. Kevin S., watching on the West Coast of the United States. Kevin, good morning to you in California. Or maybe it's early in the morning, I'm not quite sure, but hello and welcome everybody. And if you are watching live, please let us know where you're watching this game so we can give you a shout out. Well, now we're going to enjoy the local entertainment as we get set to introduce the key players from Osaka VELCA and Nagasaki VELCA. Let's enjoy the moment. Final 2 games for these 2 teams here in the 24-25 B.LEAGUE regular season. Well, actually, we are going to begin with Nagasaki VELCA, so we'll take a look at their starting lineup. So they are going to come out with Jarrell Brantley as their #1 go-to scoring option. There's AJ Edu, the Gilas Pilipinas international. Had a fantastic campaign at the 2013 Basketball World Cup. While also Mark Smith, Yudai Baba, final player for them that will be in the starting lineup, Hayato Yamaguchi. Well, there you have it. Koya Kawamata will be coming off the bench tonight for Nagasaki VELCA. They'll want to finish this campaign on a high note. Tanner Groves, also number 22, the big man, will be coming off the bench. And now, let's enjoy the local entertainment here in Osaka, Japan. See the starting lineup tonight here for Osaka VELCA. Bobby Ray Parks Jr. along with Matt Barnes will be in the backcourt. VELCA score is going to have to come from those two tonight. And as mentioned, although there's nothing for these two teams to play for other than pride itself, they will like it. As I mentioned with Nagasaki, want to finish on a strong note. Well, there are 3 referees for tonight's game, 3 of the very best, and we'd like to give a big shout out, a huge arigato gozaimasu to all of our referees who've done a magnificent job in the B.LEAGUE this season. Well, the first time these two teams met was back on the 23rd of October in 2024, and indeed, it was a 2-point victory for Nagasaki here. It was quite an emotional return for Matt Barnes. He had 15 points out of that, along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And that is going to be the key matchup tonight. Jarrell Brantley, no doubt, is going to be the go-to option for Nagasaki. Oh, just moments away from tip-off. Now we are indeed ready to get things underway. Live here, of course, in Osaka, Japan. Matt Barnes really held as a hero within Nagasaki for all the great years he played with them in B2 and B3, getting them promoted here to the top level of pro basketball in Japan. But tonight, he wears the colors of Osaka VELCA. Because I wonder who will be the defensive matchup for Yudai Baba, a.k.a. Baba Boom. Because Baba's had some great games against Osaka this season. They'll like to maintain that and finish out on the road. This is a double-header. Final 2 games, as I said already, for both Nagasaki VELCA and Osaka VELCA. Well, Coach Maor will want to make sure his team finish on a high note, thinking about building for next season. The foundation is very strong here in Nagasaki. A magnificent arena, a great fan base. For them, it's about pushing that step further, getting to the B.LEAGUE playoffs. Unfortunately, that will not be destiny this season. Sellout crowd tonight here in the south of Japan. Let's get this one started. Well, Vladimir Harunis is going to jump this one with AJ Edu. The tip is on the way. Osaka getting the first possession. This is a good chance for both these two teams to experiment on things, depending who they want to keep in the lineup, and obviously the additions they want to make next season. No doubt there's probably going to be some changes for both of them. Haru now kicks out. Contested three in the corner. Three is up. Beautifully tucked away. That's a nice way to begin for Osaka VELCA. Three made by Daiki Tsuchiya. Well, welcome to Joy Balabarido. Go Osaka. Team Ray Ray. No doubt we're going to have some wonderful Filipino fans tonight here. Puso to everybody joining from Gilas. Now a three coming from Nagasaki. Rebound secured by Matt Bonds, the former Nagasaki player. Ishipasi coming from Osaka's Hayato Maki now picks up his dribble. Plenty of time here on the shot clock. Well, they made 1-3, go for another one. The offensive rebounding falling in the hands of Vladimir Garun. Something Nagasaki don't want to give away too much tonight. Too many second chance points, but Bonds under pressure. Unable to get this one, but another offensive rebound. Now Ray Ray, teardrop, cannot finish. And Vladimir Harun fighting for it, but now Nagasaki were able to come up with possession. While patiently trying to break down the defense. Bradley comes up to set a ball screen. There's the penetration. Bradley left wide open. He'll fire the three. This one's up. He levels things up early on here in the first quarter. You got to think there's probably not going to be a lot of pressure on these two teams in these next two games. So probably they're going to be able to play with that freedom without the fear of knowing something's not on the line. But at the same time, I think these are world-class professionals we're talking about. They'd rather be competing for a spot in the playoffs. Final seconds. Has to put up a Hail Mary three. Look at the third offensive rebound. Ray Ray will try his luck again. Sinks it. Well, usually second chance points come from within inside the paint. But in the case of Bobby Ray Parks Jr., he's able to capitalize from the perimeter. The team's making everything count from the three-point line here early on. Foul's going to be called off the ball. I don't know. I think that's... Sure, that is going to be on Vladimir Harun, or let's have a look here, Hayato Maki. Well, that's on Hayato Maki. Edu coming up to set the screen. Now looking for a handoff. Goes back to AJ Edu, bumps in the lane, the bank is open. Strong move by the Gilas Pilipinas International. Well, that's something about his game. He's definitely improved since coming to Japan. Of course, last season getting relegated while playing for Toyama Grouses. He's under head coach J.R. Sakuragi in the final few games. I'm not sure if the foul is on Mark Smith or it's on Yudai Baba. Let's have a look here. I think that's on Smith. Well, yeah. Smith a little bit reckless on that play. Bobby Ray Parks now looking to penetrate. In around the defense. Counted! Well, Hayapanis Uriana, as they would say on the streets of Manila. The former TNT Tropan Giga PBA superstar. And that looks like it could be a potential FIBA Asian Cup matchup this summer. Bob at that time being taken to school by Bobby Ray Parks Jr. And now has a chance to convert this to a three-point play and a 4-point lead for Osaka. Ray Ray with 6 points early here in the first quarter. Osaka lead by 4. Riley breaking down the press by himself. Patient passing now. Nagasaki get another 3. But he fights for it, but that goes out of bounds. Possession going back to Osaka. Well, you have to appreciate the hard effort from AJ Edu. Young man who was born in Cyprus but grew up in his early years in the United Kingdom. Because unfortunately he was riddled with a lot of injuries at the University of Toledo, but give him some credit. Still playing at an elite level of basketball. Bounce off one screen. Goes out of bounds. Osaka will retain this one on the baseline. Let's get recovery defense by Mark Smith as well as Jarrell Brantley. Marina that time just getting clocked by the Osaka defenders. Well, Ray was wide open. Haroon puts it on the ground. Smith takes it from him. But a foul's going to be called, so that's going to be the second team foul against Osaka, number one against. That's on Daiki Tsuchiya. Look at this from Mark Smith. Just ripping the ball out of the hands of Vladimir Haroon. Sideline possession coming up. Bradley just, well, they set the screen a little bit too early. That's why he got so animated. Baba goes ball screen. Brantley now in the paint. Good defense by Bonds. And there's a disorganization from Nagasaki, but now Osaka looking to make them pay. We're finding Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Bob fakes, nice dime. He catches a tough one. Bonds left wide open, no fire at three. And the rebound secured by Hayato Yamaguchi. Bonds is going to get called for the foul. Team foul number 3 against Osaka with 5:53 to go here in the first quarter. Well, that's only his third personal, excuse me, no, that's only his first personal foul, I should say. My apologies. Just checking into the game for the first time tonight for Osaka, number 11, Ryan Luther. Who spent his early pro years playing in Europe, but also another sub, Masaya Karimata and Tanner Groves. Well, he's got a good team, Coach Mauer. Just, I think he's learning in his rookie season here in the B-League the strenuous schedule of having a game midweek as well as a doubleheader on the weekend. Bradley makes one pass. Goes straight off the bench. He secures the rebound. Osaka looking to push this one. Bobby Ray Parks Jr. now in the corner. Heavily defended. Bumps. Finds a bit of separation. Make that offensive rebound number 4. Ray fights to keep this alive. Mats is able to force him to turn it over. We've had almost over a minute of a barren spell. Neither team able to get any rhythm. Nice penetration. Another and one. Well, this time Baba Boom just went down the middle. And I cannot wait to see him play for Japan this summer at the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup. Because the last time Japan came close to winning the FIBA Asia Cup was 1997 in Saudi Arabia, losing in the final to Korea. Makoto Kinoshita coming into the game for Osaka. Both teams rotating quite heavily here in the first quarter. And that's no surprise given that this is the final weekend of the B-League regular season. They will meet tomorrow in this doubleheader. And there will be no playoff basketball for either Osaka or Nagasaki. Again, uses the bank. Tough angle. Kinoshita getting his first 2 points. This is a 2-possession lead in the moment for Osaka. A wide open 3. Yamaguchi sinks this one, cutting it down to 1 point. Hayato Yamaguchi. A nice little step through. The lead is unable to finish, goes out of bounds, and it culminates in a turnover. Well, I'm just reading on the live YouTube chat. 7 Mad says KBL is greater than the B-League. I got to tell you, both the Korean Basketball League and the Japanese B-League, fantastic pro leagues. High domestic talent, as well as recruiting some very serious import talent. Sub coming in for Nagasaki. Well, Gamsam Hamnida. I love the KBL as well. Brantley fires a 3. And that might have just been a little bit too quick. For both teams. Yes, stressing the issue as Ryan Luther sinks the open one. And the defense in the moment inviting Osaka to have as many good looks in the perimeter. With full court pressure. It's got to be a backcourt violation, surely. Well, I think Brantley had that one. And unfortunately, Matsumoto, he was trying to help out there, but he catches it within his own half, and that's a no-brainer. 나는 농구 선수. 만나서 반갑습니다. Smith coming back into the game. Tanner Groves will go to the bench. Terrell Bradley as well. They just haven't been able to find that rhythm early on. Bond's getting a handoff. Kinoshita penetrates. Makes one more pass. Luther made his last three. That's a good offense by Osaka. The end product not quite there. Now we're under 4 minutes. Heavy defense coming from Nagasaki, trying to make this tough, but it's even better offense. Well, Luther had to work for that one. Biggest lead of the game for EVESSA. And now Nagasaki struggling to get it inbound. No foul called. Could very well be an 8-second violation. They don't get it over the half in time. But now AJ Edu steps through. I'm confused. I think the referee has signaled an 8-second violation, but I'm not quite sure, to be honest. It looked like they'd broken it down, but I think a timeout's going to be called by Coach Maoda because at the moment, his team are choking under pressure to break down the full-court defense of Osaka EVESSA. Well, a timeout has been called, and we will return in just under 1 minute. Welcome back, everybody. 3:24 to go here in Osaka. Currently, Osaka EVESSA lead by 6 points against Nagasaki VELCA. The final doubleheader for these two teams here in the Western Conference. And as mentioned, no playoff basketball coming for either Osaka EVESSA or Nagasaki VELCA. Well, they want to go for a post-up, but Matt Bonds, tough fadeaway, final seconds. Kinoshita fights for it. But Nagasaki will get this one back. Well, Joji Takeuchi checking into the game. Twin brother plays for Utsunami and Brex, fighting for that #1 position here in the B-League. Heavy defense coming from Osaka. Now they go for something from the perimeter. Edu fights for the offensive rebound, but he's unable to keep it in bounds. And that possession will go back to the EVESSA. Well, AJ Edu is competing for every offensive board. Unfortunately, just unable to get those second chance points. It looks like Tanner Groves will be subbing back into the game for Nagasaki. Udai Baba also re-enter in place of both Terrell Bradley, and I don't know if AJ Edu's going to leave. Yeah, Edu's going to the bench. Well, to our good friend from Korea watching live on the YouTube chat, I agree with the full court press is making it tough, and what a rejection! Oh, Yamaguchi said, sayonara. Well, he's made 1 3, goes for another one, and again sinks it, cutting it down to a 3-point deficit. Well, Well, Hayato Yamaguchi feeling confidence early on for the perimeter. Osaka may have just got away with a backcourt violation. Cross-court pass. Now Osaka goes for another three. They are cooking as well as Fumiya Io. Now extending it back to a 6-point lead to the home team. Well, the game just started to pick up life a little bit better. Both teams getting good looks from the perimeter. As now Smith. All in for a tough three. Well, there's another tough play, but that's not going to go. Now the foul has been called. Well, the problem with that foul, they're going to send Nagasaki to the free throw line. Well, look at this. Tough one. Oh, Namjaga Pablo Mugayo. And Namjaga Buru Mashayo. That is a very tough play to say the least, but if you want the foul, you've got to make a little bit more contact. Get to the free throw line. 1:36 to go here in the first quarter. Chance here for Osaka to cut it down to a 4-point deficit. It's great to see we have so many Korean fans watching live on the B.LEAGUE International YouTube platform. And Yamaguchi's made 2 3-pointers. Look a little bit uneasy there at the free throw line. Well, the best he can do at the moment, cut it down to 5 points, 136. And of course, remember, if you are a big fan of FIBA basketball, whoever wins the B.LEAGUE Championship at the Yokohama Arena in the finals will go on to the FIBA Basketball Champions League Asia, where they will meet the champions of the Korean Basketball League. And if you love your KBL basketball, the finals are Seoul SK Knights versus LG Sakers. There's no repeat this season for KCC Isis. Well, welcome to Alvin. Philippines represent 2 great Gilas players tonight. AJ Edu of Nagasaki. Bobby Rapak Jr. does have 6 points. Shoji Takeuchi goes in, but he's unable to get down 1. But he will go to the free throw line. Because I remember watching Joji Takeuchi at the 2019 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. And I don't know what his diet is, but he doesn't seem to get any older. It's almost like 20 years from now, Osaka EVESSA is going to have to find a new group of players just to play alongside Joji Takeuchi. I don't think he'll retire anytime soon whatsoever. Well, the free throw has been made. Hangul go hashisu esayo. Takeuchi, one of the veterans, like his twin brother Kosuke of Japanese basketball for many years. They were the key players for the national team. Was then joined by J.R. Sakuraji in 2007 in Tokushima, Japan for the FIBA Asia Cup. Now with just over a minute to go. A bit sloppy there, but they keep this one alive. Yamaguchi, a nice move, goes in. Foul has been called, so another trip to the free throw line. But the thing here for Hayato Yama, I mean, look at the move here, the pump fake. Steps through, getting Fumiya Io off the ground. But he should be converting that to a 3-point play. Oh, Hyung Yiwa. 감사합니다. 고마워, Hyung. Another missed free throw for Yamaguchi. This is now currently 1 out of 3 from the free throw line. Of course, free throw is one of those, especially here in the B-League. You don't want to look back on the game and think, had you made all your free throws, it could have been a very different outcome. Second one converted, cutting it down to a 6-point deficit. 1:06 left here in the first quarter. Final 2 games here in the B-League. Watanabe Reipaku's now being heavily defended. Gets it taken away from him. And now Smith goes in, finishes. Oh, no, he doesn't. But a foul has been committed. Well, I thought that was going to be an M1. But now Smith. Oh, look at this. Look at the defense. Comes up with it. Says Hajima. Vale. And in the end, well, Ganchana. Tough move, tough. Unable to get the at-1, but a big chance now for Mark Smith. But a timeout is going to be called. Well, I've already asked the question. My name is Josh Bett. I'm actually from the United Kingdom. 나는 조고 선수. Well, great to see we have so many Koreans, and again, thank you. 감사합니다 for loving the UK. Of course, I grew up at a time when we had Chun-Soo Lee, one of my favorite Korean soccer players. Not to mention Sol Ki-hyun as well. He wasn't as good as Chun-Soo Lee, but still good. And who could forget Park Ji-sung, one of the greatest. But Chun-Soo Lee was my favorite. Chogo Sun-soo. Well, Illusion24 has asked the question, my reaction to Gillis without Kai. That is going to be tough. Kai Soto, for me right now, one of the top 3 centers in Asian basketball. And I just hope Gillis can find a way to play without him. Mark Smith currently at the free throw line. They've already missed 2 collective free throws tonight. And the good thing about if he makes these free throws, it can then be a potential 2 for 1 if and only if Nagasaki get a stop down the other end. Fish and chips. Well, I like a bit of kimchi and I like a bit of jambul. Jambul mogayo. Jampon, I can't remember what it's called. It's very delicious. I love Korean barbecue. Well, Luther underneath the bucket goes in. He's unable to finish. Well, that was a little bit too quick. Now trying to build something. Smith made the last 2 free throws, and now he buries the three-pointer and a 5-0 run, which cuts it down to a 1-point deficit. 1 second difference between game and shot clock here at the moment. Can Osaka get one final play? Well, Luther's got to go down the middle. Penetrates, goes in. Now he makes a tough one. And still a bit of time for Nagasaki, but they've got to go quick with Smith. Smith double clutches, goes in. Almost got it. Well, that would have been Ganchana. 안녕하세요. Well, basketball fans, that is the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and we will return momentarily. Currently, it's a 3-point lead to Osaka EVESSA. Final doubleheader for these 2 teams here in the Japanese B.LEAGUE regular season. Welcome back, everybody, live here in Osaka, Japan for this final doubleheader here in the Japanese B.LEAGUE 24-25 regular season. The rebound has been contested. I've just seen the question here, why only Koreans in Japanese league? Well, there are a few Korean East Asian imports, and last year it was Lee Hyun-jun who actually played for Osaka versus Harun. Finishes inside the paint. And again, what just happened there to Nagasaki? Well, that is double calamity. His team with only under 10 seconds cut it down to a 1-point deficit. And since then, it's been a 6-0 run currently for Osaka. Smith throwing a poor pass, tried to go pick and pop. Becoming a disaster at the moment. Well, Ray wide open. Unable to secure it. But this time, Nagasaki preventing Osaka getting offensive rebounds. Well, they've got to build something. And another turnover. And now they have numbers. Ray goes in, Rab Lambert goes in with a tough one. Well, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. now going to 8 points, extending Osaka's lead to 9. And this is not a good start to the second quarter for Nagasaki VELCA. Timeout's going to be called. Simple reach-in by Kinoshita. Yudai Baba way too casual, but look at the finish here by Ray. Well, we will return from this timeout in just under 1 minute. Well, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. just came into the game. Well, I mean, he started the game with 6 points. Now he went up to 8 points. But when he had that in transition, he said, "Shiliamnida, miamnida." As well, I mean, he was simply on a one-man mission. For Nagasaki, they've got to turn things around. They've got to be better. Still the full court pressure coming from Osaka VELCA. Biggest in the game. Tough finish by Jarrell Brownlee. They needed that one to break down the pressure. And now just do their confidence a world of good here at the moment. It's a good pick and roll action. Unselfish. Takeuchi wide in the corner. Joji unable to finish. Get that offensive rebound, number 3 for Vladimir Harun. Now Ray defended by Yudai Baba. Trying to go to that triangle offense. Oh, Bonds wide open. Former Nagasaki player now extends it for the first time to a 10-point lead. Well, Mac 007 Bonds. He's reminding his former employees what they're missing. 10-point lead currently to Nagasaki. Oh no, excuse me, to Osaka, my apologies. Now Baba goes for a fadeaway. Again, nothing going inside the paint, and here comes Osaka. Finally trying to match up heavily against Bonds. Bonds around the defense, goes in, little fingertip to it. Santa Grove's just doing anything he could at that stage, but another foul's going to be committed. It's on Joji Takeuchi. That's a good foul. There's no intent there or any reason to suspect it should be upgraded whatsoever. There's now Grande Mikey, as he's known on X. Koya Kawamata checking into the game for the first time. Also does play for the Japanese national team. Sideline ball to Nagasaki. Trailing by 10 points. He's got to build some momentum in this quarter. And Yamaguchi trying to work with Bradley. Bradley ISO here against Bobby Ray Parks. Tough one in the corner. Baba's got to go. Bit of contact, no foul call. Throws offensive rebound, still can't finish. And now Bonds comes up with it. That's been the key difference between these two teams. Is that if you want to talk about the offensive rebounding or just boards in general, Osaka's been a little bit more clinical. Oh, what a baseline play. Got to finish the reverse layup. Well, that's what they needed. They just needed something from Tanner Groves. Somebody to step up and give them a big play. But now can they build on this one? Takes the deflection, goes out of bounds. But Osaka's going to retain the 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. Well, Suzuki checking into the game for the first time tonight. There's a return for Hayato Maki. Now 10 on the shot clock here for Osaka. They don't look at the ISO, but good defense by Koyamata. And now the foul's going to be given. It's not a foul, good foul to give away because time was expiring on the shot clock. Well, again, welcome to everybody watching live on B.LEAGUE International. Final two games, a doubleheader of the season for these two teams. Neither will be going to the B.LEAGUE playoffs. And if you are watching live on B.LEAGUE International, please let us know where you're watching, which team you're supporting, so we can give you a shout out. Kevin S. What are you talking about, bro? Good passing. Bonds made his last three. Koyamata closes him out, but Bonds unable to secure the three-pointer. Because I got to give a shout out to Kevin S. He is a true international fan. Kevin S is always watching BCL Europe. Of course, I think he's also been watching BCL Asia, and he's always here on B.LEAGUE. And you know what? We don't give you fans enough credit. You guys are what makes international, any professional basketball, as great as it is. So, shout out to Kevin S. Well, welcome to Trade Meet, Ugandan B.LEAGUE fan, Je Baliko Nyabo, Oliocha, Wasuseocha. Gotta love Uganda. Well, first free throw made by Yudai Baba, who spent many great years playing for Alvak Tokyo. And he's the only player on this court to have won the B.LEAGUE and the former BCL Asia, which then was known as the FIBA Asia Champions Cup in 2019. Of course, tried his luck in the B.LEAGUE, in the G League. Well, welcome to Mark Harvey, watching from Saudi Arabia. A 7-point deficit. Now we're under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Osaka still have the momentum. Nagasaki trying to be aggressive on the ball screen defensively. Now Maki pulls up 15. Koyamata with a rebound. Can they build some more consistency? Currently in the paint now. It comes for a double team, but Baba tries a three. And oh my goodness! Well, I think Osaka just finished all their donuts, but nobody called box out as Bradley just came in with a delivery. Well, in the Bulunji trade beat 24. And now Baba goes in. Baba finishes. And after trailing by 10, Nagasaki go on a 7-0 run and cut it down to a 3-point deficit. So now it's time for Osaka to call timeout. Well, Baba boom. Hands in the cookie jar. Hajima, Bale, Gamsam Hamnida, as they would say in the KBL Korea. Well, we will return from this timeout very shortly. Well, here's another look at the play from Yudai Baba, causing the turnover and then converting it with the fast break buckets. Kevin S., still great to hear that, brother. Ryan Furman, yeah, you know, the business side is obviously so strong here, but it's going to be another Osaka turnover and a backcourt violation. And you know what? Credit to him for actually catching that, because had he not, that would have been a baseline possession. Well, not great here from Osaka after calling a timeout so quickly, and it looks like they're going to call another one because their offense at the moment just seems to be all over the place. So yet again, another timeout, so we will return in just under 1 minute. Well, we're under halfway to go here in the second quarter. 3-point lead to Osaka. They've led by as many as 10, but Nagasaki, through their relentless, imperious defense, have forced their way back in this one. And tie the game over the 3 here. Cut it down to 1 point with just a single field goal. Baba trying to work around the screen. Baba goes in. Baba simply just too much to handle. And that 10-point lead has been cut down to 1, a 9-0 run for EVESSA. Ayatomaki here in the backcourt. Well, they want to go for an ISO with Matt Bonds. Bonds defended by Baba. Bonds goes in, gets rejected. But Ray with 8 points, now make it 10. Well, here's a worrying sign for Yudai Baba. Baba's on the ground. I'm not quite sure what happened to him. Well, let's look at Yudai Baba here. I may have just got hit in the head, but I didn't see what happened. I mean, couldn't see from this angle. Well, Yudai Baba is going to leave the game. Hopefully he's okay. So the referee's going to the monitor just to have a second review of this to see if anything violent took place. Osaka putting on the full court pressure. Still leading by 3, trying to hold on to any momentum going into the halftime break. Ayatomaki trying to get up in the face of Yudai Baba. And now they go down to Brantley. You know the double team's coming. Brantley simply, again, he's got to finish that one. But Coach Mao applauding his effort. They wanted to keep going to that option. Well, Haru kicks out. Hayato Maki wide open, and another three-pointer for Osaka VELCA. Well, that extends into a 6-point lead. As I mentioned, the first time these two teams met was on the 23rd of October in 2024. Well, Bonds just takes this one away. Haru finds Matt Bonds, and now they go back up by 8 points. And it's amazing how the momentum of this game changes so quickly. One of the biggest problems here they still have Mark Smith on the bench, but you can clearly see Nagasaki have issues. They're going to bring him back in the game. Well, Groves in the corner. Kawamata offensive board. Pump fakes. Can't finish. Foul has been called, so Koya Kawamata will go to the free throw line. Well, Kawamata stands at about 6'8". This is also one of the Japanese national team players. Foul is on Haru, and that's only his first personal, but he's going to go to the bench. Well, Kawamata makes the first free throw. This could be a big summer for him as well. Mark Smith subbing back into the game for Nagasaki. He's unable to make the second one. 7 points, still the separation. Nagasaki missing 4 free throws here in the first half. Still would only make it a 3-point ball game, but you want to make sure you knock down everything. Smith matched up with Bonds. Finally, a foul is going to be called. That's only the second team foul against Nagasaki. Well, it's definitely a reach there for sure. There's no arguments. I'd say it's a delayed call, but nonetheless, I would say that's the right one. Well, Makoto Kinoshita subbing back in for Osaka. Bonds being matched up by Bradley. Luther pump fakes. Luther goes in with a help shot. Like, misses a layup. Kawamata. All you have to do is grab that one. That was a strange sequence of defense because Nagasaki gave him the wide open layup. But Kawamata probably more than likely should have recovered that rebound. Luther again. Backdoor Bonds goes in. Way too easy. Simple basketball by Osaka VELCA. And the lead is back to 9. That's not a backcourt violation. But now we have 10 here on the shot clock. Kawamata goes in, gets his own rebound. This time finishes. Beast mode. And that's what they need from Koya Kawamata. Need a little bit of a fire from him at some points. So you can see Nagasaki's defense all over the place. Leaving Luther wide open. And that time I think Koya Kawamata tried to switch on the handoff. But when they switched, it looked like the backcourt play was trying to recover and there was no communication. Back to a 10-point lead. Smith being knocked to the ground. That's going to remain Nagasaki ball, 141. They've got to maintain some composure. Right now, they're being outplayed. They're also becoming victims of their own downfall. AJ Edu back in the lineup here for Nagasaki. Penetration finds Edu, goes in. And I think the foul's been called, but Osaka VELCA infuriated. They feel like this is way too delayed. Look at the dime here from Baba Edu. And I'd say it's the right call. It's just a little too delayed, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean it's not the wrong decision whatsoever. Well, again, welcome everybody watching live on B.LEAGUE International. If you're watching this game live, let us know where in the world you're watching this game, which team you're supporting. I think we might have fans on both sides because we have Bobby Ray Parks Jr. for Osaka and AJ Edu for Nagasaki. Both players feature for Gilas Pilipinas. Ray unfortunately didn't participate at the Basketball World Cup in Manila. Edu did. And after the opening game against the Dominican Republic, AJ Edu received a hell of a compliment by New York Knicks superstar Karl-Anthony Towns. As Kat said, the defense from Edu made him a better international player. Now Luther up against Baba. Finds Ray. He's made 2 threes already, unable to get this one. Smith finds Edu. Edu goes in, finishes with a strong move. Well, Tim Cone, are you watching? You are going to need this man this summer at the Asia Cup. To play alongside Juma Fajardo, maybe Jap Vaglar as well. Goes out of bounds, but possession will go back to Osaka. Jarrell Brantley trying to argue the case. An elbow may have been thrown by Ryan Luther, but nothing was given. Matt Bonds going to the bench. Vladimir Haru coming back in, the big man from Ukraine. Well, Christella Siong is in the chat. Welcome, another top international fan, just like Kevin S. Osaka making another change is Reita Matsumoto subbing in. Still a relatively young player, 25 years of age. Going down the middle. Over this one. Still can't finish. Luther battles for it, but now Nagasaki will get it back now with 40.7 seconds left. Nagasaki VELCA, if they go quickly, could probably try for a 2-for-1. They are down by 6 points. Smith now around the defense. Trying to find Edu. Goes in, but he's unable to finish. That was a tough play, but Brantley comes up with it. Here we go. Oh, baby Jarrell Brantley. Are you kidding me? With a big-time throwdown. And that cuts it down to 4. Final shot coming up for Osaka. EVESSA's got to make this one good. Well, they find here Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Final seconds. Ray, deep 3. It's up. The bank is no good. And that is the end of the first half. Osaka EVESSA lead by 4 points. Well, fans, we are going to take a short break for 20 minutes. We're going to show you some of the key stats, the best highlights. This is the final doubleheader of the 24-25 regular season here in Japan's B.LEAGUE for both Nagasaki VELCA and our hosts, Osaka EVESSA. We'll be back very soon.
ただいております。シンガーソングライター、松本孝弘さんです。こちらご紹介をさせていただきます。47歳から全てをやめ、少年時代に夢だったシンガーソングライターが生った一人の社会貢献的アーティスト。生きること、必ずと親子関係などをテーマに、歌と笑いと自然とを絶妙に織り交ぜたトークライブセミナーなどを展開中です。松本マジックで会場全体を笑いの感動の渦に巻き込んでいきます。本日は今シーズンの大阪ベッサのホームゲームに来たことがある方なら皆さん聞いたことがある一曲を大阪ベッサチアダンススクールビッツの皆さんとコラボで披露していただきます。それでは松本孝弘さん、ビッツ皆さんよろしくお願いします。
そう、久しぶりにここ大阪やってまいりました。今大阪万博で盛り上げたいね。そして、僕の弟であるダウンタウン松本人志もダウンタウンチャンネルが7月から始まるということで、この大阪から盛り上げやないか。いいですか。僕の作った曲、この大阪エベッサ応援歌商売繁盛でかかって今回20周年になりました。ここでみんなで大合唱みたいで3番までフルコーラス席で大阪エベッサ応援歌商売繁盛でかかってこんけ。手拍子できそう。できます。
エベッサめっちゃ強いねなんてうちらの大阪エベッサ大阪エベッサ大阪エベッサめっちゃ強いねなんせうちらの大阪エベッサなんせうちらの大阪エベッサなんせうちらの大阪エベッサ松本孝之さん、ビッツの皆さん、ありがとうございました。さあこの時間では公式会社中村組プレゼンツハーフタイムアトラクションフリースロー対決を行います、はい、さあタレントのお二人も一緒に盛り上げていただきます、はい、よろしくお願いいたしますかぶってますねはいありがとうございますかぶってるんじゃなくてクォーターの間にピロッて行ってきてワンタンプロ実際にはいありがとうございますさあそれでは早速ね参加者の皆さんに出ていただきましょう、はい、さあまずは公式会社中村組の5名の皆さんによる中村組チームの皆さんですどうぞさあそして続きまして自然に選ばれて4名の皆さんとキリンの田村さんを加えた田村さんチームどうぞさあルールなんですけども1人2本ずつフリースローを打っていただいて入った合計の多いチームが勝利となります、はい、なお勝利したチームには商品券3万円お一人様6000円ずつプレゼントいたしますので頑張ってください、はい、さあそれではもう早速いきますよ1投目は誰が投げますかじゃあ僕らアイスで投げていただきますねそれでは準備いいでしょうかいきましょうそれではいきますよどうぞ頑張れいい感じいい感じまだいきますよアドバイスが入ってるこれははいいいですよもう一度ね田村さんがどうぞでは最後の方どうぞ見せつけましょう中村君の力をはい常に多分素晴らしいいけこれが中村君色はいですこんなのかそれぐらい3人目の方じゃあどうぞ投げていただいて大丈夫ですいいよ中村君おー素晴らしいポイントです4人目これもいくじゃん頑張ってボク選手見てるよそれで心強いな惜しいいいはいはいそのままもう一回油さんが入るといいよいいよ会場頼みます油さんもすごいやつをいらっしゃるでしょうかさあこれで今から5人目ですね5人目じゃあ準備の方お願いします5人目の方行きましょうなんだろうこの意思疎通じゃあ準備いいでしょうかそれではいきますよ5人目の方どうぞ頑張れ油さんもらいましたよこれ惜しいまああと1回あるからいや宇宙今2本入っておりますなんとね油さんお願いしますということで終了いたしましたはいうちは2本ですキリンですの言い方が誰やうちも2本ということはこれじゃんけんではいじゃあ代表者の方じゃんけん対決うちはどうしましょうどうしますかじゃんけんいこうかじゃあいい笑顔するんだ エース出しました。
これは大人げない戦いになるのか。じゃあお子さん相手の大人です。じゃあじゃんけんの方最初は出ていきますよ。せーの、最初はグー、じゃんけんぽん。いきますよ。あいこでしょ。いきますよ。あいこでしょ。いきますよ。あいこでしょ。最後、仲間だけの方、ほんまに優しかった。ありがとうございます。ほんまにずっと運を出し続けてくれてね。いいですよね、こんな感じで笑顔でお願いしますよ。それではいきますよ。3、2、1、GO！ OK です。ありがとうございました。さあ、挑戦者の10名の皆さん、トップタレントの皆さんにも大きな拍手をお願いします。ありがとうございました。さあ、以上、司会者長尾伝説ハーフタイムアトラクションフリースロー対決でした。ありがとうございました。
ここでクラブレッサ会員抽選にあたるホテル清流スイートルーム賞の発表です。オフィシャルスポンサーの東大阪石切温泉ホテル清流様よりスイートルームペア宿泊券をプレゼントいただいております。本日ご来場のクラブレッサ会員に当選者がいます。本日の当選者は会員番号 OE00246-00236 藤原薫さんです。おめでとうございます。当選された方は
Welcome back, everybody. We're live here in Osaka, Japan for this final doubleheader of the regular season for both Osaka VELCA and Nagasaki VELCA. Currently, it's a 3-point lead to the home team. Well, Nagasaki have had some good moments in this one, but they haven't been able to really take the lead as of yet. But you got to credit it down to the fact of Osaka's defense making life very difficult for Nagasaki. So far, it was a good start for Gilas Pilipinas international Bobby Ray Parks Jr. I mean, he got up to a high-flying start. The question is, can he maintain this going into the second half? If you compare about how these two teams have done so far, I mean, really, you got to give credit. 6 out of 16 from the perimeter at the moment for Osaka, and only 4 out of 12 for Nagasaki. Well, Nagasaki's issue has indeed been the turnovers. They've only turned over 6 times as opposed to only 3 coming. Well, excuse me, no, that's incorrect. Both of them have 6 for that matter. 16 points in the paint as of yet for Osaka VELCA. 8 of those, 8 points have come from the turnovers from Nagasaki, and 12 second chance points have definitely gone in favor of Osaka VELCA. Well, it's quite simple. If Nagasaki wants to win this, they've got to stop turning it over. They've also got to stop giving away second chance points. But there was some good signs in the first half from Yudai Baba. Defensively coming up with a big play, finishing under heavy traffic and pressure. Well, Baba's got 7 points tonight. But it's Jarrell Brantley who leads the way with 9. Well, Baba does have only 1 rebound and 3 assists. Of course, along with that 1 still, I mean, he has led the way for them in terms of all categories. While both Bobby Ray Parks Jr. and Ryan Luther, both of them in double figures here in the moments. Here's Brantley trying to Koya Kawamata finishing, getting his own rebound, the big man. Right now has to show that Akatsuki Japan's national team fire. Well, there was Brantley's throwdown. Well, again, welcome everybody live here in Osaka, Japan at the moment. Well, there are stats to say the least. Both teams only 6 turnovers. A total of 28 three-pointers have been attempted in the first half, and only 10 have been converted collectively. Well, only 3 free throws at the moment for Osaka, but that's a positive sign for Nagasaki to get to the free throw line and take 13 in the first half, and they have missed 5 of those. And you know, if you make all 5 of those, you're in the lead at the moment. And they've got to turn this one around if they want to win tonight. The first game of a doubleheader, the final doubleheader of the regular season this weekend here in the B-League. Of course, Osaka started the season off with a lot of promise. Felt like potentially that they would be able to maybe get to the playoffs, something they haven't achieved since the 2021 season, when Ira Brown was one of the key players. Coming into this game in the Western Conference, Osaka standing in 4th place, record of 500, 29-29. While Nagasaki, 10 more defeats and victories this year. Well, we said the first time these two teams met was on the 23rd of October. Nagasaki winning at home by a slender 2 points. Since then, well, they haven't met each other ever since. Well, as you know, they did. They actually played here at home. I stand corrected yet again. The last time they met was on the 12th of March. And it was Nagasaki who did win that one. Nagasaki winning 83-70. Because that night they were led by Mark Smith, who had 25 points. Of course, in the case of Osaka, it was indeed Matt Barnes at 19, and then Vladimir Harun, who had 17. Well, one thing Osaka will get a chance to do this weekend, they'll get a first chance to finally defeat Nagasaki this season here in the B-League. Leading by 3 points, can they hold on? Can they pile away, run away with this one? Well, again, welcome everybody live watching on B.LEAGUE International YouTube platform. If you are watching this game, please let us know where in the world you're watching, which team you're supporting. Osaka lead by 3. They get the first possession. Well, again, Mark Harvey, my apologies, I didn't see your message. Shout out to all the Gilas Filipinas players here in the B-League. Of course, in this game, we have both AJ Edu and Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Well, Ben Wadsworth, I have no idea because I don't gamble. And it's not in my last name that I'm a gambler either. I just love the game of basketball. Good luck to you, my friend. Could be a potential turnover. That's going to be a jump ball. Nagasaki will get it back. That's not a great way for Osaka to begin the second half. And Atomaki just baiting the defense in to kind of contest for that one. .946. Only 14 seconds played here in the second half. Which team will get the first bucket? This was a 7-0 run to finish the first half for Nagasaki. Now Baba pulls up mid-range. Doesn't quite get the right angle. And Yamaguchi unable to keep this one back. And 안녕하세요. 잘 치나요. Young, I'm back, UK. Well, when somebody asks me, what do I think about Korean basketball? Well, when I talk to Korean basketball, I say, 사랑하요. So we're trying to play bully basketball, but in the end, unable to finish. Smith had 25 points the last time he played on this court this season. Brantley in the paint. Now kicks out to Yudai Baba. And Baba draws a foul. Foul's going to be called on Osaka's number 12, Daiki Tsuchiya, who did get the first three-pointer for them of the game. That's his second personal. Baba finds an opening. There's a kick out. Smith the three, unable to convert. Heavy rebound coming from Bonds, keeping AJ Edu off the second chance points. Tsuchiya will go for another one. And that's just a little too quick of an offense for me. Osaka needs to be a little bit more patient. Smith down the middle, avoids a block, cutting it down to a 1-point deficit. Osaka almost turning it over. Run under the basket. Finally gets one to go. Oh. Where was Nagasaki's defense? Someone might need to go look at the lost and found. Smith again attacks the defense, but this time doesn't finish. Rebound by Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Oh, ankle breaker. Haroon down the middle. Euro step. Barnes, corner, three. I think AJ Edu may have just lost his balance. Not so much getting crisscrossed up. Again, Nagasaki down by three. It's just poor passing. Well, they may want to chase. That's going to be a baseline ball now to Osaka. Baba made a bullet pass. There was the kick out by Brantley. That's a poor pass. And there you can see Coach Maora saying his players, calm things down. Let's get into a good rhythm. Let's build our identity on the offensive end. 14 seconds on the shot clock for Osaka. Bonds gets a back screen. Bonds goes up, finishes under intense defense by Jarrell Brantley. 9 points to Matt Bonds. Looking to become the third Osaka player to get in double figures. Bonds not going to take a quick three. Nagasaki down by 5. Now Smith. Finally pump fakes. Hesitates. Finds AJ Edu in a nice little build-up. AJ Edu waiting patiently to receive that one, and he now has 8 points. Great game tonight for AJ Edu. Offensive rebound. Haroon has 4 points here in the third quarter. And that's his 5th offensive rebound of the game tonight. Haroon's going to get called for the foul. I think that's going to be the second team foul against Osaka here in the third. Yeah, it's a good call. And that's his second personal. Nagasaki struggling to get it inbounds. Just avoiding the 5-second violation. Brantley tries to attack, finds AJ Edu. And Edu at the moment getting buckets due to the likes of Jarrell Brantley. And now he becomes the second player for Nagasaki to get into double figures. Smith trying to defend Matt Bonds. Finds Bobby Ray Parks Jr. mid-range. Simply clutch from Ray Ray. We felt that should have been a foul call. But I'd say that's a good no call. Because he has attempted 5 3-pointers tonight. He's converted 2 of those, Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Now Baba looks to attack it again. Strong finish by Baba Boom. And now he moves up to 9. Still a 3-point lead to Osaka. Remember, they're looking for their first win this season against Nagasaki. Brantley gets a rebound. Again, AJ Edu. This man is taking this game over. And it's all inside the paint at the moment for the Gilas Filipinas player. Tim Cone, are you watching? You're going to need AJ Edu to be the dominant center this season or this summer at the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup. Bonds goes backdoor, goes baseline. Again, neither team exhibiting any strong defense here at the moment. Neither team has anything to play for other than pride itself. For Osaka, it's about getting that first victory against Nagasaki this season. Bradley now fires a three, and he ties the game up at 53. He's having a hell of a game. 12 points tonight for Gerald Bradley. Now we hit the 5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Should be an exciting finish for these two teams. Foul's going to be called. Yeah, it's going to be against Yamaguchi. Trying to get the ball in bounds. Heavy defense yet again coming from Nagasaki. Hayatomaki finding Ryan Luther, his leading scorer. He turns it over. Well, he got numbers. Goes behind the back. Yamaguchi's got to go all the way. Gives Nagasaki their first lead of the game with 4:39 to go here in the third quarter. The tables have completely turned. Nagasaki looking to remain undefeated against Osaka VELCA this season. Ryan Luther way too casual. Look at the behind the back, the magic play. Yamaguchi-san. Timeout's called. We'll be back in just under 1 minute. Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Osaka, Japan. Second last game for these two teams here in the 24-25 B.LEAGUE regular season. And it's going to be another no. Ryan Luther keeps this one alive. Now Bonds looking to tie things up. Mid-range not going to go from the baseline. Nagasaki seemed to have taken control of this one. The foul's going to be called against Hayatomaki on the ground. That time she's getting called for the foul there on the baseline, you can see. Ledu pump fakes, unable to finish. Nagasaki comes up with it. Yamaguchi finds Bradley. Still time on the shot clock. No need to rush. Edu catches a tough one. Kicks out. Smith, three, fires. Oh my goodness! Patience is a virtue for Nagasaki VELCA. They now have the 5-point lead. Osaka's got to play calm basketball, but it's another turnover, and it is becoming a total disaster for Osaka VELCA. Not a good sign. That's now their 5th turnover of the game. They only had 3 in the first half. Trying to put on the full court pressure. Only 1 foul to give. 3:45 to go here in the third quarter. Now Bradley. Got it by Luther. Goes in. Tough finish. Well, Nagasaki looked like they're going to run away with this one. 14 tonight for Gerald Bradley. Dominating this game on both ends of the floor. Now Bonds. Currently defended by Yamaguchi. Luther's made 1-3. They needed that one big time, cutting it back down to 2-possession deficit. 15 tonight for Ryan Luther. As mentioned, second three-pointer made. Time winding down. Smith made a big one. Now a contested three, and that's way off the mark. And after seeing such cool, calculated, calm and collective basketball from Nagasaki, that may have been the most rush offense we've seen here in the third quarter. As Makoto Kinoshita checking back in along with Vladimir Harun. Well, James Lee, question, how many languages are you comfortable in broadcasting? Just English. I could probably get away with a basic phrase in a few other languages, but Spanish and Italian would probably be the closest to fluent, but I don't even think I'm fluent in English. Every time I speak, it's great, of course. Three here in the corner. Osaka VELCA. Now, who does that take a deflection off? That's going to go back to Nagasaki. James Lee, brother, where are you from? Okoya Kawamata is going to come back in the game, and I think this is to defensively match up with Vladimir Harun. Kawamata had some good moments. 3 rebounds, and saw the big offensive board he got by himself in that big bucket inside the paint. That was in the second quarter. Four-point lead currently to Nagasaki. Trailed on 2 occasions by double digits. Osaka don't want to go 3 defeats to Nagasaki this season. Well, Bradley called for the clear out. Luther came over the double team. Kinoshita goes in. Well, probably Bradley could have caught that one. Luther almost gets his pocket picked. Keeps this one alive. Now down to Vladimir Harun. Got it by Koya Kawamata. Bradley comes over double team, but yes, tough move. Well, Noah Vaknin said, oh, Keaton on happiness. Yeah, I heard they got a great fan base. James Lee, okay. Yes, so Italian is through my mother. My mother's family's Italian. I need to learn more Korean. I love the Korean. I just love Korean culture. A tough finish. Baba Boom going in. No, I think he's been called for an offensive foul. Well, I have to see the replay of this one. And Coach Maor infuriated. I have to see the replay of this one. Well, Mark Harvey, Laban Pilipinas, Puso. Let's have a look at the replay here. Oh, yeah, that's a good call. That's an offensive foul. That is a good call. Baba uses the left arm, which he shouldn't have used against Ryan Luther's face. Anybody can argue all they want. That's a good call by the referee. Now we're under 80 seconds. Ray heavily defended. Kicks out the Ryan Luther pump fakes. Kinoshita trying to penetrate. Pulls up in the mid-range and unable to finish. Ray tried to come from the weak side, as now with just over a minute to go here in the third. And Groves catching an open one. Ray trying to match up. Another FIBA Asia battle here. Kawamata, nice screen, but Baba Boom sinks the mid-range. 2-possession lead to Nagasaki. Now if Osaka go quickly, a 2-for-1 is on the table. There's a penetration, there's a kick out. Kinoshita's got to make this. Now the three's not dropping for Osaka. 3 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Groves goes in. Goodbye! Vladimir Harun said, sayonara. Annyeong. Pa'alam. Magandanga. Be with this block. Good night. Get out of here. Or was a foul called? No. Because I was going to say that was a good defense on both plays. Both the primary and secondary defender. 3.5 difference here on shot clock and game clock. Smith looking to extend the lead. Osaka's got one foul to give. Ray trying to be tight on the defense. There's a kick out. Groves now pump fakes. Kawamata, but a foul's given. And that's a poor foul to give away. Because the shot clock was winding down. Now the good thing for Osaka is Kawamata has missed a free throw tonight. No, I'd say Luther got, oh, actually, no, that's a good call. That is a good call. It was not Harun. It was on Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Grande Mikey, as he's known on X. Third foul against Ray Ray. Well, Matsumoto coming back in the game for Nagasaki. Played minimal minutes in the first half. To prevent any further backcourt plays, Mark Smith specifically for getting another foul. 6.3, Kawamata at the free throw line. First one good. The foul is on Kanimata, the veteran player. Second free throw miss. Offensive rebound for Nagasaki. Kawamata goes in. Can't finish. And that will be the end of the third quarter as Nagasaki, who went down by 3, lead by 5 points. Well, we are going to take a short 2-minute break, and we will return for the final 10 minutes of the fourth quarter. B.LEAGUE action live here in Osaka, Japan. Final doubleheader of the regular season for these two teams. Final 10 minutes live here in Osaka. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE, the final game of the regular season for these two teams. Bobby Ray Fox Jr. penetrates and he turns it over. Oh, very costly play by Ray Ray. Get it right back, and Nagasaki unable to take advantage. Wide open three. Osaka battling. Ryan Luther, second chance point. That is crucial. Well, the three-pointer was taken by Daiki Tsuchiya. And then again, huge offensive rebound. That cuts it down to a one-possession game potentially. Smith just tries to ISO. Trying to get his own rebound. A.J. Edu with the second chance points. Where Osaka dominated in the first half. Now that battle has turned around. Foul's going to be called against Terrell Brantley. Just reaching in against Ryan Luther. It's always going to be a tough ISO on the quarter, but at the same time, Bradley can't afford to pick up too many early fouls. That's only his first personal, so not too much to be concerned about. Well, Yamaguchi coming back in the game. He's leading the game for Nagasaki VELCA, number 9, Masaki Morikawa. It's a little bit sloppy here at the moment from Osaka. Kinoshita just being put under pressure by Mark Smith. 11 here on the shot clock. They need something good from this offense. Well, he would love to finally have one victory against Nagasaki. They met in October, they met in March. Both of them were defeats. Finding Luther. Now we're under 10 on the shot clock. Got an offensive foul. Oh no, it's going to be a defensive foul. I thought an illegal screen was going to be called. That's going to be the second team foul against Nagasaki here in the fourth quarter. Well, that one's on Yamaguchi. That's his second personal. Finding Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Ray coming off the screen aggressively. Still keeps his dribble alive. And he's going to get called for a traveling violation. And unfortunately, I think he lost his balance. Because he was expecting a handoff, but dribbling head down. But Kinoshita's got to make him aware. I'm right here. Give me the ball. Well, no time to panic. We got to play through this. Now Smith. Plays bully basketball, goes in, makes it a 7-point ball game. And Osaka gonna call timeout. Mark Smith tonight with 12 points. Cooked this team on this floor the last time they met in March of 25. And look at the bully basketball. Somebody call the principal. Send this man to detention. That is a bully on the floor. Well, we will return in just under 60 seconds. Well, Osaka EVESSA down by 7 points. They've got to build something. Bobby Ray Parks Jr. trying to get a handoff here with Ryan Luther. Luther trying to isolate himself, goes in, gets rejected. A.J. Edu with a denial, but it's going to be an out-of-bounds violation. And A.J. Edu with the block and forcing the turnover. Well, Edu just said, not in my house. It's actually your house. But guess what? I'm taking over the house tonight. This young man, born in Cyprus, grew up in the United Kingdom, University of Toledo. Bobby Ray Parks Jr.'s got 3 fouls. Doesn't want to pick up a 4th one. And they'll probably want to think about bringing Matt Bonds back in the game soon. Smith pulls up. 3's there. No good. Ray with a rebound. Osaka's got to build something. Oh, Luther almost turned it over, but it's going to remain EVESSA ball on the baseline. Start to see maybe a little bit of fatigue settling in here for Osaka. It looks like Bobby Ray Parks Jr. is going to take a breather along with Daiki Tsuchiya. Still no Matt Bonds in the lineup. So Fumiya Iyo subbing into the game along with Tatsuya Suzuki and Vladimir Haru. So triple change for EVESSA. Meanwhile, Koya Kawamata subbing back in for Nagasaki VELCA. They look to remain undefeated against Osaka this season. Kinoshita left wide open. Three is up, no good. But a foul is going to be called against Osaka. Let's have a look here. I don't know. I don't know. Wakarimasen. Yep. Oh no, it's on Brantley, I think. So it's a good call. Okay, that was my original thought. I thought, what was committed there? Oh, it's just another careless jump pass and another turnover. Kinoshita was trying to act like Greek legend Theo Papaloukas jumping here in the air. You just don't do that at this level. Osaka's defense has got to be principled. They've only committed one team foul. Baba working around the screen. Baba pulls up from 15. Can't finish. And Luther gets a rebound. And now Suzuki finds an open. Suzuki throws this one away, and now here comes Nagasaki. Smith going all the way. Smith making it a 9-point ball game. Well, 14 points tonight for Mark Smith. And the Nagasaki fans making the journey here to beautiful Osaka, Japan. Now feeling more confident. Osaka's got to get something here. Kinoshita. Another turnover. And that's how the fourth quarter just seems to be going at the moment here for EVESSA. It's the right idea, though. I mean, this is good from Kinoshita. There is a penetration. But unfortunately, Fumiya Iyo just wasn't wide open enough. Well, he's a great player, Kinoshita. Unfortunately, it just hasn't been his night tonight. Hayato Maki also back in the game for Osaka EVESSA. As well as Morikawa for Nagasaki. And now for the third time this evening. Wow, they turn it over. Luther tries to go in. Luther can't finish. And when you're gifted chances like that, you've got to be able to convert. Smith looks to attack. Finds Brantley wide open. Three is up. Three is good. And Nagasaki now just over 6 minutes and 30 seconds away from remaining undefeated against Osaka EVESSA. Luther give and go. Nice passing. Someone's got to shoot this. Luther will fire a three. He's made two. He makes a third one. And that cuts it back down to a 9-point deficit. Hope is still in the air for Osaka EVESSA. Now Matt Bonds is back in the game. So probably give them a little bit of confidence. Something to build on, no doubt about it. They've got to make it count. Well, he'd be relatively relieved to know because his team on 2 occasions went down by plus 10 points in this game. Something about playing against Osaka they enjoy. Double team coming. Oh, it's going to be a wide open layup and a very, very poor offensive press there by Osaka. Finished by Yamaguchi. Back to double figures. Yatamaki back to Vladimir Harun. There's a kick out. Another wide open three. Three is up. Bonds comes up and a foul's going to be called, so he'll go to the charity stripe. And that's all they can do right now. If they can't get the threes to drop consistently, they've got to find other ways to score. All big free throws. Remember, if you're just joining us now for this game, Matt Bonds played for Nagasaki VELCA in their first ever season in 2021-22 when they were in the third division of Japanese professional basketball, B3. Led them to promotion to the second division. Led them to another promotion in the second division, now here to B1. And after 1 year in B1, you can see those are the fans that loved him and still do love him. Second one good. Back to a 9-point deficit. 5:51 to go. Well, Yudai Baba subbing back in for Nagasaki VELCA. Another double team coming in the backcourt. Smith, no problem bringing it down. Finds Koya. Kawamata goes in. And Vladimir Harun comes up with it. Plenty of time left for Osaka. But they've got to stop turning the ball over. There you have it. There's another turnover, and that's just how the fourth quarter's gone. This team's completely gone into shock mode. And I just wonder, knowing that neither team has anything to play for, but this matchup specifically has always gone in favor of Nagasaki this season. Timeout's going to be called. Well, no timeout, just a substitution. So Tanner Graves coming back into the game. Or Tanner Groves, excuse me, along with Karimata, the veteran player. Well, Bradley also back in the game here for Nagasaki. Groves puts this one on the ground. No need to rush anything here, but Groves pick and pop. Deep three is up. Sinks it! And that is Ayasu Minasai Osaka. Good night. After Ryan Luther hit that previous three-pointer for Osaka, cutting it down to 9 points. Bonds goes in. Bonds finishes. Now puts it back to 10 with 4:55 to go. And now I think a timeout's going to be called, as Coach Maor of Nagasaki wants to talk this one over. We will be back in just under 1 minute. Well, it's now or never here for Osaka. Just under 5 minutes. Down by 10. Baba kicks out. Finds Yamaguchi. May have got away with a travel. But Groves gets bumped. And that's only going to be the second team foul against Osaka here in the fourth quarter. He was definitely suspect of a travel, potentially, but it was a good no call. Composure needs to be key now for EVESSA. Still no need to push the panic button whatsoever. Now we're on the 10. Yamaguchi. Waiting for a ball screen. Ghost screen set by Kawamata. Pick and pop from the mid-range. Can't finish. Bonds comes up with it. Got to get it down to single digits on this play. Ray Ray, corner, wide open, 3. It's unfortunate because that was a wide open look for him. Guess Nagasaki just trying to wear down the clock here. Smith goes in, can't finish. And again, Ray Ray comes up with it. It's finding Bonds. They got numbers. Well, they got to make this one. 3 is up. And at the 3-on-2, they went for a 3-pointer. And that's disappointing from Osaka VELCA. Because that could have definitely changed this game, no doubt. And now the third team foul is going to be called. This one picked up by Hayato Maki. While subbing into the game for Osaka VELCA for the first time this evening, returning to the game, number 12, Daiki Tsuchiya. Or Ni Hao Wo的朋友 Aaron Chen. 你在做什么? Oh, AJ Edu just back in again. He's had a terrific game, AJ Edu, the Gilas Pilipinas International. And he's going to have to be crucial this summer for the Philippines at the 2025 FIBA Asia Cup. Deep 3 goes flying. It's up. Ichi ni san kudasai. Arigato gozaimasu. Yamaguchi-san. One more time. And that is a dagger to the confidence of Osaka VELCA's defense. Team on 2 occasions tonight, led by double figures. Smith is going to draw the foul, and it's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Osaka VELCA here in the fourth quarter. And that's the right call. There's no argument. So that's a good call by the referee. Very good call. Third foul against Daiki Tsuchiya. .316 left. Osaka would need a miracle at this point. But the way you judge their offense, you kind of feel the confidence has been completely taken away from them. Nagasaki turned this game around in the third quarter. There's now Bradley looking for the ISO. Yamaguchi kicks out, finds Baba, boom. Finally a missed 3-pointer for Nagasaki because everything else has been dropping. Osaka's got no time to waste. Tsuchiya's got to be quick. Hayekushite. Rika's wide open. They don't get the ball to him. Nagasaki have numbers, going coast to coast. Finishing! Ba-ba boom, baby! And a Well, the 15-point lead has been a huge, monumental turn in this game. Kinoshita almost losing control of this one. And time is not on this side. They've got to go quickly. Trying to find Matt Bonds. Baseline. Foul's going to be called, so free throws coming up for 007. 我 Aaron Chen 你在哪里现在现在我要吃面条和米饭我很饿我很渴我要喝水水我的中文不非常好 2:28 to go here in the fourth quarter. 15-point lead. Bonds looking to cut this down to maybe a 14-point deficit potentially. As Bonds, ironically, being jeered by the Nagasaki fans who, as I mentioned, cheered his name for so many seasons. Because he was a hero in Nagasaki, helping them get to the B-League. Second free throw good. Stanley Shea 我的朋友对 fourth quarter 他们不打篮球很好他们不知道 Smith being heavily defended by Daiki Tsuchiya. Yamaguchi going back to Mark Smith. 5 on the shot clock. Tough kick out. Yamaguchi Hail Mary 3. Ray Parks with a rebound. Now looking to push this one. But a blocking foul is going to be called against. That's on Nagasaki, so free throws coming up for Matt Bonds. Well, it's quite a clumsy foul to give away. The fourth one on Mark Smith. Now with 2 minutes left. Bonds can cut this down to an 11-point deficit. That's still quite a mountain to climb with 2 minutes. Tough one tonight, but as always, Matt Bonds has been the simply mode of excellence. Second leading scorer tonight, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. I don't think there's any argument that he's a great player. And he is one of the ultimate import players here in the B-League. He's unable to make the free throw. Second free throw good for Bonds. 2 minutes left. Down by 12. Neither team with any fouls to give. Bradley being heavily defended by Matt Bonds. And Nagasaki just want to run this one down as close as possible. Don't want to rush anything. Bradley in the paint goes in, can't finish. The foul's called on Kinoshita. Now watch the replay here, the pick and roll sequence. There's the drive by. Wow. No, it's a foul on Bradley, I believe. And that's the right call because an elbow was thrown. Oh no, it's on Bonds. Well, I don't know. I really just don't know. Tough one. Focus on Jarrell Brantley, the Osaka fans. Disappointingly, just haven't been able to see that team propel here in this game. Even though they were dominating in the first half. 100 seconds left. Now Kinoshita trying to go pick a pop here with Ray Parks Jr. Makes a penetration, but he misses the layup. And it's just been that kind of late third and fourth quarter tonight here for Osaka. Brantley down the middle, finds Edu. Brantley gets a rebound. Odd foul by Ryan Lucas, so free throws coming up for Jarrell Brantley. We try to throw the lob. Now watch. Ooh, that's a hard foul. I tell you what, you got to credit the professionalism. I think that's the question Coach Maurer is asking. Yeah, they've got to review this. That was a hard foul by Ryan Luther. But credit Jarrell Brantley not reacting aggressively to that. Because I'm not sure many other people would have done the same. I think, in defense of Ryan Luther, in defense, he's trying to block him. I don't think he's trying to do anything malicious here. But unfortunately, it's the angle, and he gets him on the head. And I'm not saying Ryan Luther's trying to hit him at all. I think he's trying to block him, and unfortunately, just gets him at a very bad angle. But he does try to help him up. So the referees will make a decision here. But credit to Jarrell Brantley. That is some serious empathy and professionalism to not react. But I wouldn't be surprised if this gets upgraded. That's all I'm going to say. No. Wow. Interesting. My assumption would be that the officials probably felt there wasn't any bad intent of it, but tough one. Very tough one to say the least. Still free throws coming up for Jarrell Brantley. He's had a great game tonight, as always, for Nagasaki VELCA. 19 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. 1:15 to go here in the fourth quarter. Second one good for Jarrell Brantley. Goes out of bounds. That's going to remain Osaka basketball. I think he wants his team to play right to the end. No, it's actually going to go back to Nagasaki, so another unforced turnover. Still Bonds trying to pick up Brantley full court. Brantley just dealing with the pressure. He gets the ball over the halfway line. Now we're under a minute to go. Brantley pulls up for a three. It's up. That's not going to drop as Luther getting the rebound, finding Kinoshita. Kinoshita going to Bonds. Gets blocked, and now Yamaguchi comes up with it. 13 seconds difference between both game and shot clock at the moment. 15-point lead. Nagasaki will remain undefeated against Osaka VELCA. They'll beat them for the third time this season as Yamaguchi final nail. And that is Mokari Matsuka Buchi Buchi Dena here in the south of Japan. It looks like a triple change is coming in, or quadruple change. Tanner Groves, Karimata coming back in the game. Oh no, 5-player change. Koya Kawamata also in the lineup. Complete total changeover of 5s here for Nagasaki VELCA. Masaki Morikawa also back in the lineup, along with Io Nagano, one of their youth players. But Kinoshita is at the free throw line. Well, that free throw cuts it back down to a 15-point deficit. Io Nagano, one of the youngsters of this team. And also another change coming in for Osaka for these final seconds is Takumi Takagi, 23 years young. Also, Hoita Matsumoto, 25-year-old, is also playing a little bit tonight. Final seconds coming up. Osaka's gonna lose again here. Kind of grows again. I don't know if you should be trying to score when you're leading by 15. Now make it 17 due to the basket interference. Well, fans, what a game it was until the third and fourth quarter. Ryan Luther, another three, not going to go. Osaka's going to turn this one over. Still with 1.1 second left. Nagasaki will get it back. Well, terrific win. Third win in a row for Nagasaki VELCA over Osaka EVESSA. But they will meet tomorrow. One final game between these two teams. There won't be any playoff basketball for them. Neither of them qualified. It's all over. Nagasaki VELCA win 89-72 against Osaka EVESSA. Well, Nagasaki prevailed. Of course, that moves them now to 25-34. And unfortunately for Osaka, this takes their record to below 500, as they now are 29-30. But a big win for Coach Maor and his players, prevailing until the final moments. While we are going to hear from Coach Maor, we'll also hear from the game's most valuable player, which I couldn't tell you who that's going to be at this stage. Because when we look at the stats here from Nagasaki VELCA, well, they were indeed led by Jarrell Brownlee with 20 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Could he end up being the player of the game, or will it be Yudai Baba, 15, 4 assists. He did have 4 turnovers, but we'll find out very shortly, as we will get a post-game press conference, interview, first with Coach Maor, and then whoever the player of the game will be. Well, it'll be a nice standoff for their fans, especially they made the long journey from Nagasaki here to the south of Japan, in Osaka. Their final game of the 24-25 B.LEAGUE regular season will be tomorrow. At the same time, same place tomorrow here at 2:05 local time here in Japan. Well, getting a standing ovation from their visiting crowd, Nagasaki VELCA fans, a team that used to be in the 3rd division of Japanese basketball only in the 21-22 season. Then winning B3, going to B2, having the ups and downs, but taking over that league in the second part of the season and getting promoted for a 2nd consecutive season to where they find themselves now amongst the elite of Japanese basketball, and that is the B.LEAGUE. Yudai Baba celebrating with Koya Kawamata, national teammates and club teammates. Big game tonight for AJ Edu. A terrific performance from the Gilas Filipina superstar, finishing with 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 big block in the 4th quarter. Well, tough defeat for Osaka, but as mentioned, we are going to get a post-game interview with head coach Maor and then the game's most valuable player.
いい形でシーズンが終われるように、連敗してシーズンが終わらないように自分たちのバスケットやりきって、明日トップファイターズ1で、スタッフも選手も一つになって戦えればと思います。今日はありがとうございました。ありがとうございました。コーチヘッドコーチのインタビューでした。続いて大阪総務省を発表したいと思います。こちら試合中でスタッツには表せない献身的なプレーをした選手、一番大阪騒動を燃やしてくれた選手を選出しております。本日の大阪総務省はマットモン選手です。おめでとうございます。
Well, the Osaka fans will have one final game here at home tomorrow. They'll see their team in action again against Nagasaki. And if it's anything to compete for tomorrow, it's finally to get one victory against Nagasaki VELCA. As this is the 3rd consecutive defeat of the season for Osaka against the old foe, the old bogey team, as they like to say. Well, here's Coach Maor. Let's listen to what he has to say.
お疲れ、ありがとうございます。
はい、後半見事な立て直しで、見事逆転勝ちということになりましたが、今日のゲームを振り返っていかがでしょうか。
You know, in the second half, we did a great job coming back and adjusting, and you know, we ended up winning. So, how did you feel about it in general about the game?
Felt we played the right way. We defended really well in the second half, like we usually do when we're healthy and a full roster. Fairly pleased.
そうですね、本当後半のところでしっかり自分たちも立て直して、自分たちがしっかり遂行したディフェンスというのができたので、本当に非常にそこが良かったのかなと思っていて、あと特にやっぱり選手全員が戻ってきたので、そこが一番良かったところだと思っています。
はい、前半非常に苦労をされてて、なかなかリードを奪えないという状況が続いて、で後半の立ち上げからですね、逆転に結びつくというゲーム展開になりましたけれども、このハーフタイムの間で前半の課題をどう解決されたかとか、そういった部分のところはいかがでしょうか。
So obviously we kind of struggled in the first half trying to get the lead, but we couldn't. And but second half, we did a good job coming back. What was the adjustment in the halftime?
End of season games like this are emotional, and our team's been very invested. And last stretch for us with the injuries and the results has been very tough. So our players really cared. They wanted to come out and play great for fans that made it all the way here, and for the fans home in Nagasaki. You could feel that they were a little bit nervous. We just needed to come down and do things our way. We didn't change anything tactically.
そうですね、戦術のところでいうと大きく全く変えたわけではなくて、ただやっぱり自分たちってなかなか全員がフルロースターでプレーができなかったりとか、やっぱりお客さんだったりファンブースターさんのためにやっぱり自分たちプレーしようっていうのをしっかりハーフタイムで伝えて、やっぱりその気持ちっていうのが最後の勝利につながったのかなと思っています。
はい、見事な勝ちゲームだったと思います。長崎のファンの皆さんにメッセージがありましたらお願いします。
Quick words to the fans in Nagasaki.
応援ありがとうございます。
はい、お疲れのところどうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
本日の大阪ベッサバース長崎ベルカの試合は72対89で惜しくも敗れましたが。
Well, there you heard from Coach Maor of Nagasaki VELCA. Big win for him and his team tonight. Some fans are sticking around probably to get some autographs and selfies. Very soon we are going to get a post-game interview with the game's most valuable player, or the player of the game, if you like to call it. I got a feeling it's going to be Jarrell Brantley. We'll find out, and we'll find out very shortly. I'm not sure if the Nagasaki fans are applauding Matt Bonds, or they seem to be happy about something on the floor. I'm not quite sure, but apart from having a third victory against Osaka VESSA this season.
はい、
Well, here we go. Yudai Baba player of the game. Baba boom.
なかなか苦労の続くゲームが苦労が続いてたかと思うんですけども、今日の勝ちゲーム、振り返っていかがでしょうか。
はい、おっしゃる通りなかなか勝ち星を挙げられない試合が続いて、このシーズンの終盤で、なんかこういう形でっていうのはファンにとってもすごい申し訳なかったですし、なんか今まで積み上げてきたものっていうことで、はい、今日全員揃いましたし、一丸となって戦えてよかったなというふうに思います。
ただゲームでメンバーがなかなかね怪我で出られないという状況の中、みんなでバックアップをされながらどんどんその個人のスキルを上げていかれた、そういった中で今日またメンバーが戻ってきて全体の布陣レベルを一つ上げてのバスケットができたんじゃないかと思うんですけど、この点いかがでしょうか。
そうですね、本当にやっぱり全員揃ってやるっていうところではチームの雰囲気としてもいい方向に向かいますし、すごく今まで積み上げてきたことっていうのをコートで表現できた試合だったかなというふうには思います。
はい、マーク・スミス選手も、復帰されて、前半なかなかお見受けする限りでは少しフィット感がなかなかチームとしてのヒットが見られない感じでしたけど、後半になるにつれどんどんチームらしさが見えてきたと思うんですけど、馬場選手自身もですね全体チームを見ながらというところからポジションのところでしっかりと責任を果たすといった部分じゃ気持ちよくバスケットできたんでしょうか。
そうですね、やっぱりボールハンドリングの役割を主に任されている以上、自分からボールが発進というケースが多いので、やっぱり周りの選手に心地よくプレーさせるのも僕の仕事ですし、そういった意味ではまだまだ前半は良くなかったですけど、後半少し手応えよくやれたので、明日も継続してやれたらなというふうには、思ってます。
はい、お疲れのところどうもありがとうございました。最後に長崎の皆さんにメッセージがありましたらお願いします。
はい、たくさんの応援ありがとうございます。周りを見渡せば大阪の地までたくさんの長崎ファンの皆様が足を運んでくださってすごい力になりましたし、彼らの支えなしでは自分たちはここに立ててないっていうふうに思ってますので、明日もう一試合一緒に戦っていただけたらなというふうに思います。
はい、ありがとうございました。明日も頑張ってください。
ありがとうございます。
Well, there was your player of the game, Yudai Baba. What a performance he had tonight. The first thing Baba said in that interview, we haven't translated, is that we fought with passion through the game. And everybody worked well together. So he was paying a lot of homage and credit to his teammates. Even though they trailed twice to Osaka VESSA by, double digits in the first half, it was the passion in which they fought collectively as a unit. Of course, the first half, he mentioned they didn't play so well, but the key thing for them was through, their hard work and ability to play as a team defensively. The second half, they were much better, and that's what led to a victory. Well, now we're going to take a look at some of the key highlights here from this game. As I said in the first half, Osaka VESSA led by more than 10 points on 2 occasions. The biggest lead they had was, okay, if you look at the biggest lead, Osaka led by 10 points twice. That is a disappointing thing for them, but I think at the end of the first half, they just didn't have any fast break points. While in the end, Nagasaki VELCA finishing with 25 straight points. And I think it's what's another confusing thing. 29 points came from the bench of Osaka VESSA. And with the big victory for Nagasaki, only 13 points came from their bench. So quite something not right there with Osaka VESSA. Second half just turning off a few gears and, you know, disappointingly losing this one, which I felt probably they shouldn't have lost. Well, Ryan Luther, of course, had some big moments in the first half as the leading scorer for Osaka VESSA. It just was too little too late at this stage. You gotta think, this team with the talent they have, what is the area they need to change? What are the alterations they need to make in this team going forward next season? I don't know the answer to that question. You would have thought midway through the regular season they were possibly going to be a top 2 team in the West, maybe even a wild card, but too much inconsistency with this team. And it was always going to be a tough run, to say the least. And, you know, as soon as Yudai Baba defensively led the way here for Nagasaki, the game just completely changed. Now Baba coming off a screen, finishing in and around the bucket. Tough finish. Well, here was Matt Bonds. Bonds going in, getting rejected to the finish in the end by Bobby Ray Parks Jr. Actually wanted to see more of that from Bobby Ray Parks Jr., but the defense was just too much to handle. Well, there was a dunk. Way to end the first half here for Nagasaki VELCA. Plus a halftime break. Osaka still led by 3 points. You kind of felt that they were going to run away with this one, but you know, the collective play from Nagasaki, as you heard in the words from Yudai Baba, that time Brantley finding AJ Edu. The post interior defense got caught napping. Well, Bonds' time finding Bobby Ray Parks Jr. again for the mid-range. Felt there was a bit of contact with Mott Smith and no and one called. And again, Baba penetrating, going in. Simply too much to handle. Unstoppable by Baba Boom. Well, here was Bond's baseline, avoiding the block from AJ Edu. A game like this, you kind of expect it to probably go down to the wire, but you just have to ask the question, what happened to Osaka VESSA in the second half? They were nowhere to be seen. And a very disappointing finish, to say the least. Probably they could have been better. They'll know that for sure. So here was a three-pointer by Ryan Luther, cutting it down to 9 points. And was a comeback going to come? Absolutely not. This time Baba Boom, mid-range, inside the paint, off the dribble. Pull-up was automatic. And there was Mark Smith, just playing bully basketball. Having his way around the court. Nobody was going to stop him at that point. And here was the other turnover. Smith came up with it, turning it up a gear and just going coast to coast. And I've always said this, Nagasaki, I feel like they just maybe one or two players away from getting to making a playoff run next season. Brantley wide open, back to a 12-point lead. So at that point, even with another three here from Ryan Luther, just too little, too late. Just no way in this game back for them whatsoever. Well, there was Baba kicking out, finding Yamaguchi, and the threes kept piling in the fourth quarter. Huge bucket. And that was another turnover. This time Baba came up with it, and Baba Boom down the middle, splitting the defense. And trademark transition by Yudai Baba. Well, there it is, final seconds. Big win for Nagasaki VELCA. Their third win this season as they remain undefeated against Osaka VESSA. Well, we'll take a look at some of the key stats here. 9 out of 23 from the perimeter for Nagasaki. Osaka finished with 8 out of 28. What's interesting, Osaka only missed one free throw tonight. completely out-rebounded Nagasaki, 43-40. 14 offensive rebounds. And another key difference in the stats were the bench points. Well, they had a total of 30 bench points. Well, excuse me, no, 20 bench points. Only 12 of those. Well, no, 29, excuse me. And only 13 came from Nagasaki VELCA. But 29 bench points, you got to think, where did it go wrong? Well, they gave away too many points in the paint, but you can credit that down to the likes of AJ Edu. Now we're going to look at the game's leaders. Well, Ryan Luther along with Jarrell Brantley both had 20 points. Matt Bonds finishing with 18. Yamaguchi, 15 points. Had a good night from the perimeter. Mark Smith, of course, had 14. Well, Bobby Ray Parks Jr., 10 in the first half. Only 2 in the second half, so bit of a tough one. Jarrell Brantley was 1 rebound away from a double-double tonight. He had 9 rebounds. Also had 4 assists. That just wasn't meant to be for him. But I think they'll be more content knowing they're going to leave with a victory. Of course, Vladimir Harum was 1 rebound, 2 points away from a potential double-double. He finished with 8 points, 9 rebounds himself. And Matt Bonds, 1 rebound away also from a double-double, finishing with 9 assists. Of course, Ryan Luther, the only player tonight who did have a double-double. He had 10 rebounds to go with his 20 points. We'll just look at the game's leading rebounders very shortly. Well, again, we look at the points difference. You can see Luther, double-double for him. Matt Bonds, along with Mark Smith, both leading the assist category for their respective teams. That's crazy there. Jarrell Brantley was 1 rebound away from having the same stat line as Ryan Luther, 20 and 10. Difference is, Jarrell Brantley leaves with his 3rd win against Osaka EVESSA this season. Well, we're going to show you a few more stats, and then we'll look at some of the key fixtures coming up tomorrow. Final games. There's your head-to-head. Udai Baba, 13 points. And in the end, it was 12 points and 6 rebounds coming for that man, Bobby Ray Parks Jr., the former TNT Throwback Giga player in the PBA. Well, a big win nonetheless. But it is all over tonight, as we will take a look at the final fixtures. Remember, these 2 teams will be in action here tomorrow, same time, same place, here in Osaka, Japan. Now we look at the remaining fixtures. Chiba Jets hosting Sendai 89ers, Kyoto Hanadis against Shiga Lakesides. But I guess the key matchup, Utsunami and Brex will have to win their final games and hope that the Kawasaki Brave Thunders, who do host San Antonio Phoenix, defeat them either today or tomorrow. Because those 2 teams battling for the #1 position in the B.LEAGUE going into the playoffs. Golden Kings against Saga Balloonas. Also, you'll get to see Guma Crane Thunders against Akita Northern Happiness. There is your playoff matchups. Question is, who will be #1? Will it be Utsunami and Brex, or will it be San and Neo Phoenix? Chiba Jets versus Alvok Tokyo first round. A Tokyo battle. Of course, the Funabashi region, there's also the V2 playoffs. So make sure you tune in. Toyama Grouses, of course, in the playoffs as well. Kumamoto Voltas going up against Alteri Chiba. So lots of basketball to watch here in the B.LEAGUE, both B1 and B2. Playoffs are upon us. They start next week. Well, fans, unfortunately, it's that time of the evening where we must say goodbye, but we would like to say a big thank you for joining us. Arigato gozaimasu, sayonara, and ayasumi nasai. Thanks for joining us. Good night, goodbye, and God bless from the Japanese B.LEAGUE.